My sister got my wife fired, but karma struck. When her 2.5 unfraud scheme was over 2 million was stolen in a plot to sabotage a sister-in-law out of jealousy. This story isn't just about family rivalry, it's a risky scheme with consequences no one saw coming. Emily, the main character's sister, has always been the pride of the family with a stellar career. But when Olivia, her sister-in-law, got the dream job at Emily's own company, a dark plan unfolded. Olivia was fired for a bizarre reason, but behind it all was a chilling secret. Will Emily get away with it? Stay tuned to find out what happens next. Before continuing the story, tell me which city you are watching from. I want to know how far this video has come. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so I can send you exciting stories like this every day. Emily, 35F, my sister, who is 32M, has always been fiercely competitive with everyone, particularly when it comes to professional accomplishments. Since she was a straight-A student who was accepted into a prominent college and immediately after graduation found a distinguished career, Emily was always our parents' golden child. Emily never forgot that I was a more typical student who took a few years to figure out what I wanted to do. Being the successful member of our family has become Emily's entire identity. She is a senior manager at one of the leading IT businesses in our city. Her accomplishments are continuously praised by our parents, who also use her as an example for the rest of us to follow. She lives in a fancy home in the greatest area of town and earns a very decent living. Every family get-together becomes an opportunity to highlight her most recent bonus or promotion. 3 years ago, while both of us were speaking at a tech conference, I met my wife, Olivia, 30F. Olivia had the most amazing work ethic I had ever seen, and she was intelligent and motivated. She was from a very different family than ours. When she was 6 years old, her parents left Vietnam and took on several professions to support themselves. While maintaining stellar marks and eventually receiving her degree in computer technology, Olivia had to work during high school and college to support her family. The thing that truly appealed to me about Olivia was her humility in spite of her success. She never disparaged others or boasted about her achievements. Rather, she was constantly attempting to guide younger developers and make others successful. We bonded right away since we both enjoy coding and solving problems. And last year, after 2 years of dating, we were married in a modest ceremony. Emily had never been fond of Olivia. I initially assumed it was simply her customary aloofness towards strangers, but it soon became apparent that Emily viewed Olivia as a danger. Emily would frequently make subtle jabs about how Olivia was squandering her skills at a smaller company, despite the fact that she was leading the engineering department at her startup and producing creative work. That's cute, but at a real tech company like mine, or you should apply for a junior position at my company if you want to do actual important work, were some of the remarks she would make to break up Olivia's employment stories. Our parents never mentioned Emily's actions, and when I attempted to confront her about it, they blamed me of being overly sensitive and said that Emily was only attempting to support Olivia in her professional endeavors. Olivia never took the bait or got into a fight with Emily, and she always responded to her remarks with elegance. To Emily's seeming annoyance, she would simply smile and shift the topic. When Olivia received an amazing job offer from the same business where Emily works, but in a different department 6 months ago, everything truly came to a head. Better income, more responsibility, and the opportunity to oversee significant initiatives that could significantly impact the industry made it Olivia's ideal position. She would be in charge of financial technology integration across several divisions, which was Olivia's area of expertise at her firm. Emily usually dominated the conversation, so when we broke the news to her during a family dinner, she became extremely silent. Our parents were ecstatic, discussing how the sisters-in-law could get together for lunch and how wonderful it would be to have both their daughters working for the same esteemed organization. Emily merely shoved food around her plate and said something ambiguous about how hiring practices must be evolving. Olivia was doing well when she started the job. She was already making strides towards simplifying some of their antiquated systems, and her team adored her. Every day, she would return home with excitement, sharing with me the difficulties she was facing and the advancements she was making. She was happier than I had ever seen her in her career. After only 2 weeks in her new position, Olivia was abruptly called into HR and immediately let go. They said they had found that Olivia had misrepresented her prior projects and employment experience on her resume. Olivia was caught off guard. In her life, she had never told a lie. It didn't make sense because they had called all of her references and confirmed her prior job during the lengthy interview process. Olivia was heartbroken. When she came home, she sobbed for hours, claiming she didn't comprehend what had transpired. HR refused to even look at her copies of all project material and employment records. Like criminals, they simply escorted her out of the building. I began looking into it since something didn't make sense. I requested a friend of mine who worked in IT at the company to investigate the situation because he owed me a favor. I was furious at what he found. Emily had brought fake proof that Olivia had forged some of her employment history to HR. In order to give the impression that Olivia had misrepresented her position and accomplishments at her former employer, she had really produced fictitious emails and supporting paperwork. Emily made no attempt to refute it when I challenged her about it. She stated that someone with Olivia's past didn't belong at a prestigious company like theirs, and that she was defending the company's brand. She blasted Olivia for not being our kind of people and expressed her frustration at seeing underqualified diversity candidates occupying unworthy positions. My sister's candid discussion of her preconceptions was something I had never heard her do before, and it sickened me. I expected our parents to be as appalled as I was when I told them everything. They said that rather than making a huge deal out of it, we should deal with it within the family. They stated that Emily most likely didn't mean any damage and was simply anxious about her job. They advised Olivia to simply look for new employment and move on, stating that there were many other organizations that would be better suited for someone with her experience. Karma caught up to Emily last week. Her own supervisor found out that she had been fabricating reports to exaggerate the performance of her team. She was promptly fired. Now that she needs money to pay her mortgage and other payments until she gets a new job, she is frantically texting and calling me. It seems that she has already spent all of her savings on her opulent lifestyle. Our parents are placing a lot of pressure on me to do the right thing and help Emily maintain her house because they believe that family comes first and that she's still your sister. They keep stressing that Emily made a mistake but that she is family, while Olivia is just an in-law. I declined. Just as she left Olivia alone after purposefully ruining her career, I told Emily she was on her own. Emily broke down in tears and apologized profusely, claiming that I'd been cruel and that she had made a mistake. However, I don't think she genuinely feels regret for what she did to Olivia. She merely apologizes for needing assistance after being exposed for her own deceptions. Even though my sister might lose her house, am I the jerk for not helping her? Although it's not as good as the job she lost, Olivia has since obtained another one. However, I'm still upset over Emily's actions. I don't think I can ever forgive someone who intentionally wounded my wife because of their own prejudices and anxieties, despite our parents' constant insistence that I'm being too harsh and that I need to forgive my family. Update. Since my last post, things have become a lot messier. Emily decided to start what I can only characterize as a smear campaign against Olivia across our entire extended family after I declined to assist her with her financial issues. She seems to be attempting to change the past such that she is the victim in this whole situation. Emily brought a wholly made-up account of what happened to our extended family. In fact, she claimed that it was Olivia who had been deceitful and manipulative. She falsely claimed that Olivia had applied to her department on purpose. It was a whole other division and had started attempting to appropriate Emily's projects and claim credit for her work right away. Emily stated that she had to notify HR of Olivia's access to private documents pertaining to her team's projects in order to safeguard both the business and herself. She presented Olivia as a corporate spy who had married me in order to gain access to Emily's position inside the corporation. She even implied that, knowing that I was Emily's brother, Olivia had singled me out at the tech conference 3 years prior. In actuality, Olivia was unaware of Emily's existence until after we had been dating for a few months. The majority of our extended family seemed to be fully believing Emily's falsehoods, which is the saddest part. Once a huge fan of Olivia and a constant praise of her cuisine, our Aunt Linda now refuses to even look at her. Uncle Bob, who works in tech recruiting, even called me to warn me about how Olivia might be using me to go up the corporate ladder. Our cousins have been making ambiguous remarks on social media about snakes in the family and gold diggers who destroy families. They have been phoning and emailing me non-stop, accusing me of betraying my own people for an outsider who attempted to destroy my sister's career. They don't seem to care that Emily was fired for her own dishonesty. They have concluded that Olivia must have planned that as retaliation as well. It's truly amazing the mental acrobatics they're employing to paint Emily as the victim in all of this. My parents, who before at least seemed to be impartial, are now completely on Emily's side. In fact, my mother had the audacity to tell me that she should have seen Olivia was troubled from the moment she met her. Along with other blatantly racist remarks that sickened me, she said things like, "People from her background often have different values about honesty. Go back to her own community where she wouldn't cause problems for our family," my dad advised Olivia. Our youngest sister, Rachel, 28F, is the only one who has defended Olivia, and her revelation has altered my entire understanding of Emily. At last, Rachel broke down and shared with us a story that occurred 5 years ago. Shortly after graduating, she had applied for a junior job at Emily's company. She aced every interview and had outstanding credentials. Her application was abruptly denied because of character issues. Even though the team wanted to recruit her, Rachel learned that Emily had also gone to HR at the time with unfounded claims that Rachel had cheated in college. It seems that Emily had fabricated emails from Rachel's college to bolster her allegations. Emily had threatened to use her connections to blacklist Rachel in the industry if she ever told anyone. So even though Rachel was distraught, she kept silent about it. Rachel was so disturbed by the incident that she ultimately accepted a job in a totally other industry. Emily lost all control when Rachel told her account in our family group chat and included screenshots of Emily's threatening communications from that time. At 11 p.m., she stormed into Rachel's flat, banging on the door and yelling that Rachel was a traitor who was attempting to ruin her life. Rachel claims she had no idea what secrets Emily was referring to, but she was threatening to reveal all of her secrets. Additionally, Emily promised to ensure Rachel never again worked in the city. Rachel had to call the police to get Emily off the property because she was so scared. It's terrifying to hear my sister sound so insane after she captured a portion of Emily's breakdown on her phone. Emily was even more incensed after the cops warned her about harassment. Our family is now utterly divided. Our parents continue to support Emily, claiming that Rachel must have misinterpreted what transpired 5 years ago and that she is merely envious of Emily's accomplishments. In an attempt to portray Rachel and I as permanently jealous troublemakers who are just out to harm poor, successful Emily, they are accusing us of being disloyal and ungrateful for banding together against our sister when she is already down. Since this entire ordeal began, the situation in our family has become more tense than ever. The arguments are constant, and every time our parents speak about Emily, they continue to claim that she is a victim of misunderstanding and jealousy. We have tried to explain that we never intended to hurt Emily, but the truth is that her actions cannot be hidden forever. We cannot continue living in a family where wrongdoing is justified by blind emotions. What hurts the most is that our parents are not recognizing the true nature of the situation. They've become so blinded by their love for Emily that they can't see the mistakes she's made. This blindness has made me feel like I am living in a different family, one that no longer respects truth and justice. Every time I see the trusting look in their eyes when they talk about Emily, I feel betrayed. The accusations from our parents aren't just simple criticisms. They are deep emotional wounds. They say we are disloyal, ungrateful for standing together against our sister when she's down. They claim that we are exploiting the situation to bring her down, despite everything we have done stemming from a desire to protect the truth. Those words make me feel like I've lost everything. Not just the respect of my parents, but the love I once thought would always be there from my family. The price of truth is often too high. I know that standing for the truth may make things harder, but I cannot remain silent in the face of what Emily has done. I cannot sit idly by as she continues to deceive and harm the people who love her. And no matter how much it hurts, I have to face the fact that Emily has made mistakes. And we cannot forgive those mistakes unless she acknowledges them and makes amends. Throughout these months, I've had to endure not only the criticism from my parents, but also from other family members. They've started distancing themselves from us, calling us traitors who don't understand the importance of family. This has been incredibly painful, as I've always believed that family is where you can rely on each other during tough times. But now it seems that family is the very source of the pain. Despite all this, I've come to realize that in any situation, I must stand firm with what I believe in. Rachel and I have united not to turn against Emily, but to protect ourselves and the values we hold dear. We've had to make difficult decisions, and at times we've faced consequences we never anticipated. However, I know that even if family turns their back on us, we can create a family of our own, one where respect, honesty, and trust are the core values. Although things have gone too far, I still hope that one day our parents will realize that we haven't done anything wrong. We are simply protecting the truth, standing up for what is right. And no matter how long it takes, I won't give up on the belief in family. Not the family I had, but the family Rachel and I will build from scratch. A family where truth and loyalty will always be valued. They have even begun bringing up all of our childhood transgressions. I've begun compiling all of the proof of Emily's behavior, including the police report from her breakdown, the testimonies from coworkers who saw her behavior, the phony email she made about Olivia, and the threatening text she sent to Rachel. After reviewing everything, the legal staff at Olivia's new workplace believes we have a solid case against Emily and her old employer for defamation and wrongful termination. Since everything started unfolding, Rachel and I have been bombarded with criticism from our parents. We've been accused of betraying the family and intentionally trying to harm Emily. Even though everything we've done comes from a place of wanting to protect the truth and justice. The feeling of being turned on by our own family is painful and disappointing. We cannot understand how our parents could be so blind to Emily's actions, even though it is clear that she has hurt not only those around her, but also herself. The image of family, something I once thought was a place of safety and love, has now been completely shattered. It feels like we're no longer the children who are loved and protected, but rather individuals who are being judged, criticized, and saddled with accusations that we never deserved. The cost of truth can sometimes be too high, and we are paying the price for it. The betrayal from those we trusted the most has left us feeling isolated and alone. However, in the midst of all this pain, I've come to realize that family isn't just about blood. It's about those who are willing to stand by you, support you in difficult times, and help you protect the values you believe in. Olivia and Rachel have become my real family throughout this ordeal. They are the ones who have helped me maintain my faith in myself, even though everything we are going through could easily shake anyone's trust. The support from Olivia and her colleagues at her new job has helped us see things more clearly. All the accusations from our parents and the attacks on our honor now seem meaningless since we have solid proof. I feel like I'm standing in a battle not only for the truth, but also for respect for myself and those I love. The evidence we've gathered from police reports to testimonies from colleagues all point to the fact that Emily's actions weren't just a simple lie, but a series of deliberate and serious actions. She didn't just deceive people, she hurt those she exploited. This isn't just something that should be condemned, but it should be acknowledged in the eyes of the law. Olivia and I standing up for the truth is not just a fight to protect our own dignity, but also to protect the values we believe in. No matter how many obstacles we face, we will never give up this fight. Not because we want revenge, but because we believe that only the truth can bring fairness and healing to the wounds we've suffered. The truth may be painful, but it's the only thing that can help us rebuild healthy and sincere relationships. We cannot change the past, but we can create a future where justice and honesty are always prioritized. And no matter what happens, I will always be proud of the decision I made, because it was the right one based on faith and true love. However, my parents are now threatening to disown Rachel and me if we destroy our sister's life over a misunderstanding. They claim that if we don't drop everything and help Emily get back on her feet, they will write us both out of their will, and that pursuing legal action would demonstrate that we were never truly family. Since she doesn't feel safe in her own apartment, Rachel is currently staying with us. Despite her own trauma from everything that has transpired, Olivia has been a tremendous support system for her. Even though I'm more convinced than ever that confronting Emily is the right thing to do, it still hurts to see my family fall apart like this. Numerous unpleasant facts about my family have come to light as a result of the entire scenario. which I suppose I always knew existed but never wanted to confront. I used to believe that Emily's will to excel and her competitive nature were simply acts of ambition, but now I realize that they are a much more sinister and damaging trait. Update: everything we believed to be true about Emily's behavior has been totally disproved. Rachel, a former coworker of Emily's, contacted Olivia via LinkedIn last week. We were all surprised by what Rachel, Emily's assistant manager for the previous 2 years, disclosed. Although it was undoubtedly a contributing factor, Rachel claims that Emily's sabotage of Olivia was motivated by more than just professional jealousy or prejudice. The true cause was much darker. Olivia's new position would have provided her direct access to financial records and system logs, which may have revealed Emily's years of falsifying the books, despite her best efforts to conceal her own illegal acts at the company. Documentation from Rachel demonstrated that since Emily was promoted to senior manager, she had been routinely manipulating the performance metrics for her department to make it appear as though her team was earning millions of dollars in fictitious revenue. She had set up shell businesses, fake contracts, and created phony client accounts. For years, she had been using these accounts to embezzle company revenue, taking a portion of the phony contracts and transferring it to her personal offshore accounts. Emily went into a frenzy when Olivia started working for the company and was given the responsibility of auditing and integrating all of the financial technology systems. Given her reputation for being meticulous and her experience with system integration, Olivia would have unavoidably found out about Emily's department's anomalies. Emily fabricated the CV fraud narrative just 2 weeks into Olivia's job, which is why she acted so swiftly to fire her. In reality, Rachel had been compiling proof of Emily's deception for months. But because of Emily's industry ties, she had been too afraid to come out. Rachel ultimately made the decision to take action after witnessing how Emily had ruined Olivia's career in order to defend herself. She had amassed records of strange money transfers, screenshots of phony client accounts, and copies of false contracts that all pointed directly to Emily. We gave the police and the company's internal inquiry team all of this material. Emily had embezzled more than $2.5 million in the previous 3 years, according to the probe. Her activities constituted securities fraud, since the fictitious performance figures she disclosed had also affected the company's stock prices. However, the most heartbreaking discovery concerned our parents. When the detectives began tracking down the funds, they found that sizable sums had been going into accounts that belonged to our parents. They eventually acknowledged that they had been aware of Emily's fraudulent conduct over the previous year after being presented with this evidence. Not only did they know, but they had been actively assisting her in concealing the funds. They had established offshore accounts and produced a paper trail that made the stolen money appear to be genuine investments by using their legal connections. They asserted that since Emily was the one who stole the money, they had not technically committed any crimes and were only defending their daughter. I was disgusted by their attitude when I questioned them about their involvement in all of this. They said that because Olivia claims to care so much about family, she should understand their actions. They even attempted to claim that Olivia's assistance in paying her parents' tuition expenses was equivalent to helping Emily steal millions of dollars. They didn't seem to see the difference between assisting to cover up enormous fraud and working honest jobs to support your family. Their attitude was the worst. They were just sorry they were found, not sorry for what they had done. In fact, according to my mother, none of this would have surfaced if Olivia had been more understanding about her place and had discreetly departed the company when Emily requested it. They continued to blame Olivia for everything, claiming that her rigid job choices pushed them to take extreme steps. The involvement of our parents has upset Rachel. She had always believed that our parents were simply too forgiving of Emily and that she was the only toxic member of the family. Rachel's entire opinion of our family has been completely destroyed by learning that they were complicit in her misdeeds. She can hardly sleep and has been experiencing anxiety episodes. Emily is currently facing criminal charges from the firm for fraud and embezzlement. In addition, they are looking into a number of her close coworkers who may have participated in the plot. Although our parents are being investigated for their part in concealing the stolen funds, they have not yet been charged. Emily is no longer there at all. She stopped answering all messages and cleaned out her home in the middle of the night. My parents say they don't know where Emily might have gone, but the police are searching for her. I don't believe them at all, considering how they previously assisted her. Third update. Our family has experienced pain as well as justice in this story's last chapter. 2 weeks ago, Emily was apprehended for attempting to enter Canada using forged documents. Our parents, as we thought, had assisted her in hiding in several places during her attempt to escape the country. In order to escape a longer term, she ultimately accepted a plea bargain. In addition to 3 years of supervised release, she will spend 2 years in federal prison for embezzlement and securities fraud. Emily's scam was far more extensive than we first believed, according to the company's inquiry. Since she was initially promoted to management 6 years ago, she had been stealing money and falsifying statistics. In order to hide her tracks, she had also been blackmailing a number of lower-level staff members, threatening to destroy their careers in the same way that she had done to Rachel and Olivia. All of this has been made possible by the tremendous assistance of Olivia's new employer. Following the public revelation of Emily's transgressions, Olivia received a formal apology from her previous employer, along with an offer to resume her job. They have given her a sizable payout for wrongful termination in addition to returning her to her previous position with a promotion and full back pay. More significantly, they are putting new rules into place to stop discrimination against workers from immigrant backgrounds and HR fraud. Our parents are dealing with the fallout on their own. Their cooperation with investigators helped them avoid criminal charges, but their role in Emily's crimes is now well known in our town. Since the partners didn't want to run the risk of their reputation being damaged by association, they were compelled to leave their legal practice. They no longer hold the same position in all of the social circles they once controlled, and the majority of their pals have turned away. Rather than expressing regret, they have intensified their efforts to place the blame on others. Before Emily was sentenced, they even attempted to write a letter to the judge accusing Olivia of manipulating circumstances to accuse Emily out of jealousy. Given the strong proof of Emily's culpability, the judge was not impressed. Additionally, they attempted to accuse Rachel and I of plotting with Olivia to embezzle Emily's money and blame her, but this desperate attempt clearly failed. Rachel has begun to put her life back together. While she searches for a new job away from our parents' influence, she has temporarily moved in with us. The business has also extended an offer to her, admitting that Emily's bogus accusations were the reason behind her dismissal 5 years prior. After years of Emily's manipulation and our parents' toxic behavior, she is finally receiving therapy. Her gradual recovery of confidence and a realization that none of this was her fault is truly remarkable. Olivia and I have stopped communicating with my parents and Emily altogether. Our lawyer has made it plain that any attempt to get in touch with us will be viewed as harassment, and we have blocked them everywhere. Building our own family with individuals who share our values of integrity and support for one another is our main goal. After seeing all the proof, a number of our cousins who at first thought Emily was lying have apologized, and we're carefully mending our ties with those who appear to be truly sorry. Some family members continue to maintain that we ought to have kept matters within the family and protected Emily. Last week, my aunt called and said that we are bad people for allowing Emily to go to prison and that real families stick together no matter what. However, Emily's total lack of regret, even in court, has only served to reinforce our decision. She merely expressed regret for trusting the wrong people, specifically Rachel and Olivia, to reveal her wrongdoings. We have learned from this entire experience that sometimes the family you choose matters more than the family you are born into. Instead of the poisonous allegiance and corruption that Emily and our parents attempted to impose on us, Olivia, Rachel, and I are forging a new sort of family founded on integrity, respect, and genuine support. Thank you for watching. The story we've just witnessed is not just a simple family feud. It is a brutal test of resilience, integrity, and the closest relationships in life. Throughout this journey, we've shared in the main character's profound pain as he faced the ultimate betrayal from his sister, someone he had trusted, loved, and always hoped for family unity with. Emily, with her outwardly perfect life and career, was hiding a dark scheme that only came to light when it was too late. However, this story is not just about Emily's downfall, but also a deep lesson on protecting what's most precious in our lives. Olivia, though deeply hurt, did not let family betrayal break her spirit and resolve. She stood tall, rising above her pain, and ultimately found a new path for her life. She made me realize that no one can define our worth but ourselves. Despite enduring hardship, Olivia held on to her belief in herself, something few can do in such a situation. And then, the story of betrayal and injustice in the family brings to light a very real issue we may all face. Not all loved ones will always have our back, and sometimes we must learn how to protect ourselves from toxic relationships. The very people we think will be our greatest support can often become the source of our deepest wounds. But what's important is that we face the truth. Don't let ourselves sink into negative emotions, and bravely move forward. From this story, I draw a vital lesson. Whether family or friends, when faced with betrayal, the most important thing is to hold on to who you are. We may hurt, but we must never lose ourselves. The story of Emily and Olivia serves as a reminder that if we don't stand up for our integrity and truth, we will be the ones who lose the most. Finally, I can't help but wonder, in tough situations like this, would you be able to stand up and protect what you love? Could you remain strong in the face of betrayal, or would you let the pain dictate your life? This story will make you reflect on what you would do when faced with betrayal in your own family, and whether loyalty and love in a family can truly overcome everything. While family may be a place of love, it can also be the place where we must fight to protect the values we hold dear. And if family is no longer the stronghold, it's the people who truly understand and love you who will help you rise above all challenges. Thank you for following this story. If you found this story meaningful and it provided you with valuable life lessons, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to continue watching emotional stories and the valuable principles they teach. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. We are always eager to share real-life stories, practical lessons that help you grow stronger and more resilient in life. Thank you for being with us.